Kia ora, everybody. Hello and welcome. This is episode 2 of Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. I'm joined today by the human highlighter, Brady Kuech.
Hey, Matt. How's it going?
Good stuff. We've got a great show today. We've got a few things to get through. We've got our regular features of the hot rounds for the last week, a bit of international news. We're also going to be previewing the Hyzlander, which is coming up this weekend in Dunedin. And there might be a bit of time for a Q&A. So if you've got any questions for Brady or for myself, then pop them in the comments down below. We'll get them up on screen and we'll do our best to answer them. First up is a recap of the Roxburgh Open, which was played last weekend. Now, this is a really interesting tournament. It's actually a fundraiser for Johnny Ferrari, Morgan Hartfeld, and Stephen Reed to go to the Japan Open in 2022. So great cause. Morgan actually came in second in the Open division, and Justin Workman took out the win. In the ladies division, you had Hayley May Flintoff coming in second, and Liana Christina taking out the win. So really good to see. They're also organising what's called the Peak to Pint on the 20th of February, which is another fundraiser for them to get to Japan. Played a brand new Coronet Peak disc golf course. So if you want to get involved with that, then reach out to them and they'll tell you how to get involved, or reach out to us and we'll put you in contact. Now on to the hot rounds for the week that's been. So starting down south, big ups to Andrew Fleming, Team Sweet Chains, Andrew Fleming with a 16 down in Invercargill. That's incredible. Very well done to him. Brenley Marshall with a 13, not too shabby 13 down. Moving across to Chingford, you've got Stephen Reed with 7 down. That's the best score this year as well. Jake Brennan with a worthwhile 6 down. Over to the Gardens, you've got Kevin Hara on 7 down and Jack Halliday on -5. Billy Goldsmith was 1 under at Ely Point this week. And Toby led the way at Lismore with a 4 under. Moving up the country to Jelly Park. I know I'll enjoy this shout out. Leon Botta with 7 down. Very well done, Leon. Across to Queen's Park Reserve, and you had Bryce Collier and Donald Booth both doing 4 down. Up to the capital, you had at Berrenpore Hills, you had Brady Kuech with 5 under par. Incredible score, very good. And Nick Panu on 4 down. And across to Petone in the foreshore, you had Brady Kuech, Team Sweet Chains, Jack Ryan, and Troy Robinson all taking 3 down. And those 4 rounds, Brady's one at Berrenpore and the 3 from Petone, were actually done as part of Sweet Chain Music's Wellington Centurion, which involved myself, Brady, Jack Ryan, and Troy Robinson doing 101 holes in one day across Berrenpore's 3 courses, par 342. It was incredible. Took 11 hours, and we were very tired by the end of the day. Up to Upper Hutt, the hot round for this week was Stan Morris with 3 down. Well done, Stan. And up the country to Linklater, Ryan Kitto with 1 down, but Kyle pitting in by 1 shot to go 2 under. Up to New Plymouth, and Conor McKinstry shot the hot round of the week with a 2 under at Inglewood. And up the country to McLaren Falls, Brad Taylor beat his +4 from last week to go +2, best score of the year so far. And up to Auckland, Rosedale, you had Steve Jessup and Luke Holston both on 2 under par. The red tees at Woodhill, been some improvement here. Ben Davis and Jackson Sullivan both shooting 6 down for the round. So very well done, everybody involved. Some really good scores there. And it's great to see them continuously improving. Next up is some international news. Now, last week we spoke about the possible movement of James Conrad to a new team. He announced about a month or 6 weeks ago that he was leaving Innova for this season. It was announced during the week. If you don't know who he's gone to, then watch this clip.
Spoiler alerts coming. Turn off if you don't want to see news.
Coming into the...
Come on.
Headquarters here at MVP was definitely a lot of fun. I mean, as a disc golf and frisbee lover, there's something pretty magical. About coming to a warehouse full of discs. We got to play.
Oh my word. Something.
Play around earlier today.
No, we're good.
First impression.
We're good.
There's a ton of promising discs in here. We got a lot of good stuff to work with, and I'm excited.
Oh, look at that snow.
My name is James Conrad.
And I am Jesus.
And I'm on team.
Yeah. So James Conrad to MVP was the news. Sorry for the video being rubbish. We need to do something about that. It's going to be really good to see him. Personally, I'm a big Gyro fan. I love the look of their plastic. I think some of their plastic is some of the best looking that there is. And I know there's several people out there who just throw MVP. I'm looking at 2 members of Team Sweet Chain who subscribe to that. So that's our international news. Now, Brady, I've got a couple of questions for you as you've joined us in the studio today.
Yep.
Tournament director of Middleearth Open.
Yep.
It's coming up in 4 weeks' time.
Mm-hmm.
How's the prep go?
Prep's good. Spent a couple hours on the course this morning, just starting to trim up the course and get it pretty for everybody coming in, and also just to improve the safety. It's been pretty rugged, as the trial's gone on. So yeah, just making sure it's all looking top notch and professional for when everyone comes in on the weekend.
Excellent. And there's what, 4 weeks to go?
Yep.
Registration's open. Why, if you don't live in Wellington and you're considering coming from somewhere else in New Zealand, but you're not quite sure, what would tip the balance?
Berhampore is probably going to test you like no other. So the idea of it's really been designed, having helped designed it or primarily designed it myself, the idea of it's really going to push you, and the idea of long shots, short shots, tight shots, touchy shots. But of course it's Wellington. So you're most likely going to have to deal with the wind. It's on a ball golf course. So you're going to have to be dealing with skips. The idea of the tournament itself has grown, it's been the longest running professional tournament in New Zealand. I've had a pro purse the entire time since I started running it in 2015. I might as well make the announcement now. Middle-earth this year is being sponsored by none other than Matt Drake and Sweet Chain Music. That announcement will be forthcoming. So, I can leak that out now. Thank you for coming on. So yeah, it's going to be the biggest pro purse ever this year. There's competitions all the way down from whether it's your first tournament, your maybe second or third, or, if you're an open player like myself, it really has something for everyone. And the idea of whether it's just a fun weekend out, the idea that it's held at Berhampore. So we have the whole access to the golf club rooms there at the Mornington Golf Club. So it's really kind of a unique experience. If it's something that, say you enjoyed Inglewood, but you want a little bit more elevation gain, or, the idea of you're also in Wellington. So when it comes to craft beer, when it comes to specialty coffee, you have Absolutely. All of the culture of the capital on the doorstep. So it's sweet, stay around, there'll be other sponsors coming on. We hope to bring some sponsors back. And so the idea of, it's really a tournament that's grown every year, in its 6th year, that's definitely not one to miss.
Yeah. So if you want to register, I'd encourage you to do so. Personally, I love Berhampore course. It's got that right balance of, as Brady said, of elevation gain, of wind. It's not easy, but there are birdie opportunities. So you're going to feel like you've always got a chance, but if you take any holes for granted, it can hurt you. But so very challenging course, very enjoyable.
Yep.
Really looking forward to it. And obviously supporting the event. Love to be supporting the one of the local NZDG tour events here in Wellington. So that's going to be great as well. Looking further ahead into 2021, what kind of things personally are you most looking forward to?
Barrenpore is one of them. So we did finally get approval from council. It's been on a trial basis when we put it in nearly 2 years ago now. And so the idea of we've gotten permission to finalize it. So the idea of putting in proper tee signs and proper tee pads, there will be temp ones and there will be a temp side of the course for the additional 8 holes, but we're able to finalize that 10, which is really good, which will also help us seeing the growth around the country. I'm really looking forward to the growth in the capital and what we're able to achieve. And then also just getting out on tour. So I left my job before summer and did a little bit of a road trip and scoped out the South Island. And so getting back into that competition mind and that kind of stuff, really looking forward to getting my rating back up to where it used to be. I lost a few points last year of really kind of struggling and not having my head in the game because of work. And so that idea of being able to see the course grow, to see the club grow, and then just see myself grow as a player and get out there and start making some lead cards again.
Excellent. And if you want to follow Brady's progress throughout the rest of the tour, then you can do. Head over to Facebook and Instagram, search for the Human Highlighter, and it'll be top of the list when it comes up. Good stuff. Okay, I'd like to draw us over to Hyzlander now, which is this weekend. It's in Dunedin, and it's going to be a interesting tournament. Brady, I'd like you to talk us through. What have we got on here? I've got on here the.
So you can't see off screen. We have a second screen set up so that we can kind of see.
We can now.
Hey, there we go.
Can now. So we've got the player list up, sorted by rating. Talk us through who you're most looking forward to tracking the results of and to seeing any highlights from.
Well, of course, you have Jackson Sullivan. He's probably going to be a clear favorite this weekend. He performed well there last year at Nationals. So Jackson and Simon were kind of pushing each other. There's no Simon this year, so Jackson's kind of the clear runner. And of course, he's about 15 points ahead of actually, interestingly enough, out of retirement, as it were, you have David Keane. So he's normally a North Island player. He just recently moved to Queenstown, so I'm looking forward to seeing him back in where are his competitive juices. He's not played in a while. Though I also have to give a big shout out to Chris Garrard. So I cut my teeth playing in Maine. That's where I first kind of learned and started competing. Chris Garrard is over from South Portland, which is about a 15-minute drive from where my parents currently live. So he's used to tight wooded courses. He's used to open courses. He should perform really well. Hyzlander has a really good mix of those two. But of course, you can't rule out people like Temi Heafitu. He's super, super consistent. And then, of course, Mikey Yu has pretty much had the hot hand for probably the last 12 months. So he's, of course, a contender as well.
From Wellingtonians, I'd like to say a best of luck to Chris Sinai, who has obviously owns the Upper Hutt course, essentially. And so the tight wooded holes will should play well for him. And having taken out Fault Line last year, I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on. In the Open Women's Division, there's going to be quite a tight battle. They did battle last week at Roxburgh.
Yep.
What do you think could happen this weekend?
It's going to be really interesting. So it's Haley Flintoff and Leanna. Great battle from what I heard last weekend. They're always pushing each other to be better. This is probably going to be decided by less than 3 strokes, I would imagine. So they're both going to be pushing each other all weekend. It's just going to be who's more confident. I know they've both been putting heaps of work, but also Haley's weeks away from giving birth. So they're does that?
It's incredible.
So that she's still playing. Yeah. I don't know if Linga or I know Minky played right up until her last week. So she kind of had a 2-week break. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that factors in. But you know, again, like I said, it's probably going to come down to 3 strokes and be a battle all the weekend. I don't really want to put my money on either one of them. It's who's smiling the most at the end of the weekend.
I'm really looking forward to watching that battle actually happen over the whole weekend. It should be a very, very close affair. On to the advanced division. Any names to pick out in the advanced division that you think could make some moves?
We'll see. Shout out to team member Andrew Fleming. It's good to see you. He's coming off that super hot personal best. Congratulations, by the way, on that 16 down. Well done. So, he might be running with a lot of confidence into this. Patricio's played well in the past. I played with him a bit before. and there are a whole lot of new names. So I'm guessing there are going to be a few of these guys. When I was down in the Fling in November, just a couple months ago, Christchurch really impressed me with not only the amount of players, but kind of the caliber that they were coming in with. And normally advanced division, typically comes down to it's going to be a one-shot swing. So, it's going to kind of be who's going to be putting on the weekend.
Yeah. 3 really good battles that are going to be going on. If you're not playing Hyzlander or you're not able to get down and watch, then you can follow it on the PDJ Live app, and you'll see all the scores coming in as they come. Next week, we'll be recapping what happens there, and we'll have a full results show. So make sure that you catch up with the results by Thursday, unless you want me to spoil it for you. That'll be all good. That's it for today's show. I do think we have one question which we could come to.
I do want to give a quick shout out to, as you're watching the Hyzlander, please also watch the junior division. Currently, he's only 14 years old. Levi Stout out of Invercargill is a 952 rated player.
That's ludicrous, quite frankly.
I'm not even 952 rated at the moment. So he's smoking it at the moment. So it's really interesting to see how it's going to match up. So kind of watch all the divisions. It should be a really good weekend. Tom McKay, who's going to be running in Disc Golf Dunedin, always puts on a great event. Nationals was held there last year. They've been putting in weeks of work leading up to this. So the course is looking amazing from everything I've seen posted. Make sure to check that out.
Good stuff. We got a quick question. It's a Wellington-based question from Scott Woodhouse. Question for you guys. When are we getting 2021 bag tags? That's a great question, Scott. Look out for something in February. We'll be announcing a bit more news on this as we go through February. We understand that bag tags is always a battle, and it's quite funny whenever we turn up to Hosker or Hyzer. It's always quite an amusing time when people have to hand over their tags. So yes, we'll have those in February. So keep an eye out for that on our Facebook page. We'll be announcing that. Finally, is to say thank you very much for tuning in. Next week, as I said, we'll have a recap of the Hyzlander. We'll also have a preview of the Southern Smash. And we'll also be spinning the wheel for the Fiend Round at Hosker for the following week. So if you haven't voted on that already, get onto our events page for Hosker 2021 for February. Go to the discussion and vote on what you'd like the people who are playing there to play. And then we will spin the wheel next week. That's it from us. Thank you very much for tuning in. We shall see you next week. All the very best to the people playing at Hyzlander. Can't wait to see how those battles unfold. See you then. Take it easy. Thanks, guys.